I had a friend who wanted to be a mother and have a child because she thought it would give her life some sort of meaning, some sort of purpose. She felt empty without it, like something was missing, or she didn't feel complete, or she didn't feel like a whole person because she wasn't a mother. Like it was her job, um, to be a mother. She felt that. And she didn't want to try to better herself. She didn't want to try to become a better person, trying to learn more about life, trying to just become a better human being. And that comes with like gaining more life experience. And she was young at the time, so she didn't even, I think she was like 19, so she didn't even bother trying to fulfill her life in other ways, try to find other things to give her life meaning, or even know herself enough to where through that she would know what she wanted in life. She just right ahead just went straight to, well, I want to be a mom and I want to have a child, and that's going to make me feel more fulfilled, like I have a purpose because I'm a mom. I have a purpose, and somehow now I'm going to be much, my life is going to somehow magically fall into place because I'm a mom. So she had a child really young because she thought that kind of thing, that would have given her purpose. So it's one of those things that lots of girls have that mindset, especially usually from lower income. They typically have a mindset, and I'm not just pointing out lower income people, because some people who are from very middle class neighborhoods still have that, but it's more common among lower income people to think that way. But it's just one of those things that happens so much that it has to be kind of mentioned. It seems most of the young women that share these views tend to come from lower income families and were raised in environments that were not healthy to begin with. So it's no surprise that they have trouble finding meaning and direction in their lives. We are all simply reflections of our environment, and that can sometimes limit our choices before we even know how to make them. It's often very difficult to see beyond our nurturing, especially if our exposure to new things and new ideas is limited. Regardless, a child should never be used as a tool to give your life meaning or a sense of purpose, and to do so should be considered a type of child abuse. Unfortunately, these are often the same women that later grow up and complain about how they don't have enough money to feed their 3 children. Their children usually grow up in poverty, lacking proper education and guidance, and often end up doing the same things and making the same mistakes their parents did, continuing to perpetuate the cycle of poverty and unnecessary suffering. People often say that the education is out there, and all one need do is look. But what is often overlooked is that low-income communities may as well be on their own island, and that people living in those communities often share the same values and beliefs as each other. People living in communities like that have a heavy influence on how each other thinks and feels. So if a young girl sees all her friends having babies and starting families young, she may feel pressure to do so as well. I have seen several trailer park communities where the residents there seldom care what happens outside the trailer park, or with the world in general. Yet they can tell you the names of almost everyone that lives in the trailer park, as well as information about the lives of the people that live there. By the time they leave or develop a greater sense of the world around them beyond the environment they came from, it's often too late. And they may already have children to take care of, thus trapping them in the same environment that created them. I often talk in my private life about antinatalism being a possible cure for poverty that no one wants to talk about. The subject seems to stir up too many negative emotions in people, so they tend to avoid it. It's already been proven that the more educated a person is, the less likely they are to have children. But how can the necessary education reach someone that is isolated inside their own low-income neighborhoods? From their perspective, they are just living out their lives as best as they can, completely unaware of the trap their own circumstances have created. The internet and social media may be the reason why teen pregnancy statistics are going down. Young people do have access to more relevant knowledge than ever before. Even so, the influence of their initial environment will always be strong. Hopefully, with the continuing influence of social media, young girls can learn that having a child to give you a sense of meaning is always wrong for both the mother and the child, and that by waiting to have a child or not having a child at all will greatly improve the outcome of their lives. Currently, there is a lot of economic pressure among women to have children later in life, and although that is preferable to having children in your late teens and early 20s, the chances of having birth defects increase with age, and so does the potential to cause unnecessary harm. As an antinatalist, I would suggest not having children at all, therefore reducing the chances of creating potential suffering to 0%. After all, children that don't exist can't suffer. That said, if a person truly has their heart set on being a parent, there is always the more noble option of adopting. Adopting a child causes no suffering, because the crime was already committed by the biological parents. Your job would be to provide the child with a stable, healthy environment that they can grow and flourish in. Adoption is always more noble, because you are not responsible for causing harm yourself, but instead you are trying to reduce it by giving a child a better shot in life than they would have otherwise have had. Having a child for reasons like to give your life meaning or sense of purpose, or having someone around to take care of you when you're older, or to help around the house, or for financial reasons is beyond selfish. When people have children, they gamble with someone else's life. You are always gambling with someone's life when you bring a child into this world. And that is never to be taken lightly. Ever. Anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys be safe out there. Bye.